Hey everyone, so look, I'm in front of a bookshelf. So I finally have a tripod, so I thought, hey, let's film in front of the bookshelf. So here I am, and I got a haircut. You think I got a haircut? I also got some new makeup. Yeah. So today's video is, I kind of got it from the blogosphere on the bookie blogs. It's called Top 10 Tuesday, and it's from, I adapted this from Should Be Reading on WordPress, and I'll definitely leave that link in the description below. So the topic for this Tuesday is 10 unique books. Now I take this as books that I've read or I'm currently reading. I found 10 books and or series, and I thought I would share those unique books with you. So the first book I chose for uniqueness I am currently reading, and that is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. I chose this because it's so different from anything I've ever read, and it's like, the story's so intriguing and I just absolutely adore it, and the characters, and I also love the photographs. I think that is the most important thing in this one, because, you know, without the photos, I don't think the story would come to life as it did. So, yeah, that's why I chose this one. The second book I chose was a series, and I haven't completed it yet, but it is so different and it's so unique in its own way, and that is the Lunar Chronicle series by Marissa Meyer. I own the whole trilogy. Well, it's not really a trilogy, is it? Considering Winter's coming out in January, is it? January? I believe so. I believe it's January. But I just love the cyborgs and how it's kind of another twist on fairy tales, and it's amazing. The next book, I have lent out the first two, so I only have the last book, and don't tell me anything because I don't know anything about this book because I haven't read it yet. And that is the Divergent series by Veronica Roth. I just was sucked into this so much. I haven't started Allegiant yet, and I'm looking forward to starting it, but I flipped through it and I saw that it switches points of view, so that kind of leaves me curious, like, what's the point of switching points of view? Is it going to be pointless, like in Breaking Dawn with the Twilight series? And I don't know. I think they're all these books just, I don't know, they gave me this sort of comforting love kind of feeling, and it makes me want to live in this world, and the idea that there are 4 different factions for everyone to choose, and you have to take a test to determine what you would be in. I just think that's really interesting and unique. The next series is an adult series. I heard about this on Twitter, I think, and it's the Crossfire series by Sylvia Day. I read these in January. This first book I bought at the gift card from my aunt. I really liked it, and it's a lot different. I did read the first book, 50 Shades of Grey, and this one, I guess, was compared to it, and I definitely don't think so. This one has more plot, and I really like that. The next series, some of you may not like in this list, but of all the unique stories that impacted so many lives, this one I thought would probably be the best on this list. And that is the Twilight series by Stephanie Meyer. I just thought that, you know, it's one of those stories that changed our whole generation. This is kind of the book that got me back into reading, because, you know, I didn't really know too many books outside of Harry Potter, because that's really all we had in our house. So this one definitely, like, changed my reading kind of style. It kind of brought me into the YA, I suppose, and just a love for books again. So I feel like everyone kind of got into reading through it, or got back into reading through it. So yeah, I mean, the movies are okay. Like, there are some things that I could say about that movie, but I don't know. I mean, they're good the first time around. I've read them again, and definitely not my favorites. The next series I just kind of grabbed around a book is the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. Yes, this is a different cover. I know. This is the UK edition. Book depository. But it kind of introduced me to reading, really. And it made me love stories and cherish the stories that are on this earth and just keep reading. And I have ever since. But yeah, Harry Potter just like changed my life. I mean, a lot of people say that, but it really did. Like, this is what made me want to be a writer. Another unique series I found was the Legacy Trilogy by Kayla Kluber. I read this a couple times, this book anyway, but I read the whole trilogy this year, and I really enjoyed it, and it was so good, and it was very unique in the fact that, you know, it's this princess, and she kind of had to choose whether or not she wanted to stay with the guy that her parents chose for her, or go with this kind of unique kind of guy, and it was just very interesting. The third book was my least favorite, but the first two are amazing, and it made me want to keep going, and the fact that the author's from the same place I am makes it even better. So yeah. The next book I chose was Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. I absolutely adored this book. I read this over my spring break this year, and the thing that I love the most about it, I believe, is just, you know, the relationship between these characters, how they became to be in a relationship. I think that was the most, you know, unique thing about it, is that they didn't bond over words. They bonded, well, they sort of did. They bonded over music and comic books. Like, I kind of want that. Like, and it was just such a sweet story, and I don't know, there's like no words. I still need to read Fangirl, but that might be added to this list one day. Another book I chose, I believe it's a series as well, is Control by Lydia King. I read this with the Booksplosion group a few months ago, and I absolutely adored this book. I mean, it wasn't my favorite by a long shot, but I just thought it was unique in the fact that Lydia King took science-y aspects of everyday lives and genetic mutations and made the most interesting story there could ever be, and turned it into this. And I think it's so cool. Like, I don't remember his name in the book, but the character with two heads, how he's always awake, but one brain's he has two brains, and it's just, I love it, and it's just so unique, and I can't wait to see what happens in the second book. I believe it comes out in December. I believe I added it to my TBR, so I'm excited. So yeah, Control. The final series I have, and the final book in this list, is another series. My first two books I've lent out, so I chose the last one because the last book is coming out this year, but this is not the last book, this is the fifth book. The Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I absolutely love this series. I love both of hers, so I'm just going to say I'm all, like, Infernal Devices and Mortal Instruments as the same series because they all go together anyway. But anyway, I just said that they all go together because there's characters in that series and the Infernal Devices that are in this book, and yeah, I just really love the world. Like, who doesn't want to be a shadow hunter? Like, I just want to be in this world, and you know, Clary and Jace are probably like two of my favorite characters. And who doesn't love Will Herondale? Like, I know, Will Herondale. Can we just take a moment to appreciate him? You know, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of picture him as Theo James now. Darn you, Theo James. But anyway, yeah, this series kind of brought me to, like, I read The Infernal Devices last summer, and that kind of brought me into YA reading again, because that was kind of the first, that's when I started reading more, and I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait until May to get the final book and find out what happens. So yeah. So that's all I have, guys. I hope you really enjoyed my list. I would love to see your top 10 unique books. Every Tuesday I'm going to be doing a different list. So next Tuesday's video will be 10 bookish things that I want to own, and they can't be books. So that ought to be fun, and I can't wait to show them to you. But that's all I got for you, and if you like this video, please let me know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of the beautiful me. I'm just kidding. I'm just totally kidding. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.